As you know, on Sunday night or Monday morning of every week, we post a new expository semiotics explaining why we would choose which lectionary readings. But in these readings, our dream is, and our desire is, to help you read the signs and fondle the details and spot the seminal metaphors, the condensed signs and the stories that are key for preaching to a digital culture. So strap on your seatbelt and join us as we prospect our passages for today. Welcome to LenTalk number 152. Appreciate you being with me every week. Some of you never missed one. I'm so grateful for all of you. And we're counting down, first of all, to Lent. The Sunday after this Sunday is the first Sunday of Lent. And then we got this big deal in the middle called Ash Wednesday. I have a friend every year who sends me a reminder. Get your ashes to church this week. Okay, so get your ashes to church. In church. Get your ashes in church this week. So this is Ash Wednesday. This is also, we're coming up to 3 full years of Lent Talks. This is like 4 more, and it'll be 3 full years. So thank you for your support, for your encouragement, for your financial ballast, and building this up. I couldn't do it without it, and I appreciate all of your subscriptions, and I appreciate all of your donations. We're going to combine 3 for Transfiguration Sunday. This is a big deal. One of the biggest moments in Jesus' life. It helps to reveal to us that the utility system in heaven is light. Okay, you got to have utilities, and heaven's utilities, Earth's utilities, are based on other things: coal power, natural gas, and increasingly solar. But heaven's utilities are light, and we're going to be getting to that in just a minute. But we have this passage from Exodus where Moses goes up to Mount Sinai. His face shines again with his heaven's utility, and he comes down, and he has his face is just glows. You also have here a passage that is from the classic Transfiguration passage, which is from the Gospel reading, but it's the Gospel of Matthew. But you also have Peter, 2 Peter 1:16-21, talking about what it was like for him to be a part of this Transfiguration. For he received honor and glory from God the Father when that voice was conveyed to him by the majestic glory, saying, "This is my Son, my beloved, with whom I am well pleased." We ourselves heard this voice come from heaven while we were with him on the holy mountain. And then I'm going to read the full passage from Matthew. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them. Now, the Greek here is the word for metamorphosis. I mean, he underwent a metamorphosis, a metamorph. And his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became dazzling white. Suddenly there appeared to them Moses and Elijah, the 2 big superstars in Hebrew history, talking with him. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 dwellings here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." And while he was still speaking, suddenly a bright cloud overshadowed them. From the cloud a voice came and said, "This is my Son, the beloved, with whom I am well pleased. To listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell to the ground and were overcome by fear. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Get up, do not be afraid." And when they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. Now you have the same phrases that are heard from the clouds, from the heavens, at the Transfiguration as you do at the baptism. The baptism with water, the transfiguration with light. So we're baptized in one by water, and it's baptized with another with water. We translate it in this stilted way. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. My brother John is he's a PhD, got his master's in divinity from Princeton. He really knows Greek well. And he makes the case, and I agree with him, but that doesn't mean anything because I'm not, his Greek is so much better than mine. But the best translation here is not, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, but this is my beloved Son, you ready? Who brings me great pleasure. Who brings me great pleasure. We were created to bring God pleasure. Now, what does that mean? What in the world are we talking about? How do you do that? Now, in one sense, the opposite of pleasure in Western culture is pain. So you could say, well, you want to bring God pleasure? Don't be a pain. Don't be a pain in the neck. Don't be a pain in the, where. My grandma would say, you're a pain in the sacroiliac. I never knew. I still don't know what a sacroiliac is. How much pain have humans caused God? And how much pain have children, because we are God's children, brought parents? Is there any one of you who's a parent who's listening to this LenTalk, after you've had a child, have not called your parents and said, Mom, forgive me, Dad, I am so sorry. I can't believe what I did to you, how insensitive, ungrateful, selfish, pain in the neck I was to you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Please forgive me. And then a year goes by and you call them back. Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry. What I did to you when I was growing up, I brought such pain to you. And because your children, you're seeing it in your children because they're now doing it to you. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I love you so much, how embarrassed and ashamed I am of all the pain and grief I brought you. Please forgive me. And then we're reminded of this commandment as written in Exodus 20, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. The Hebrew word underlying honor suggests a kind of a richness of obedience and trust that is long lasting in a continuing sense. It entails the sense of a lifelong responsibility here. Honor, it's a lifelong thing. So glorify. As an adjective, it magnifies the implications of a noun. In English, honor means to give high regard, respect, esteem to, give special recognition to bring or give respect or credit to. And we all, every one of us failed to honor our parents. And when we become parents, we repent. And we say, I am so sorry I did not honor. I am sorry I did not honor you as I ought to have. Because, hear me, if you have children, you will know the meaning of pain. Okay. The price of love is a broken heart. Every child will break his parents' hearts. I broke my mother's heart. I broke my father's heart on so many times. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so ashamed. I'm so repentant. But here's so this is how we're tempted to pose this is my beloved Son who brings me great pleasure. Jesus brought great pleasure to his Father. The problem is, and I don't know what made me get this book. It wasn't cheap. It's by Michael Nyland, The Chinese Pleasure Book. Okay, and it's not what you think. I mean, it's a book, very small print. In fact, the footnotes aren't here. You got to go online to get the footnotes because they would take like half the book. But the basic argument is, in Eastern cultures, the opposite of pleasure is stress, anxiety, care, insecurity. So forget the pain thing. And Jesus comes out of a much more Eastern culture. He's just focusing here on China as a case study of this. But when we think of what does it mean to bring God pleasure, it doesn't mean you don't be a pain to God, don't be a pain in the neck, as we know with our kids and as we ourselves were. But what brings pleasure to God, you bring me great pleasure, is to give up our cares and anxieties to God and to trust God with them. 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your cares on him because he cares for you. That's what brings God pleasure. It's not, I won't be a pain in the neck today to you, and I won't complain and carp and cajole and coerce. No, I'm just trust me enough to cast your cares on me. Let me take care of you. Be not dismayed. Cast your cares on me. Just throw them on him. Let Jesus carry your burdens. Jesus said we could cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. So maybe instead of he brings me great pleasure, it doesn't mean Jesus wasn't a pain to his Father, but means that he trusted his Father. He gave his anxieties and concerns and insecurities to his Father. And this is where God as a parent becomes huge. And we really haven't explored this enough. There's 7 times, I will be dealing with this on Mother's Day, where we basically have 7 mothers, and I appreciate Andrew Wilson's helping me here with this. The Bible talks about 7 mothers, and we all have 7 mothers. But this is God as parent. Around 80% of the time, the word compassion is used to describe God. And what's really interesting is this word compassion often portrays God as a parent who deeply cares for his children. Compassion is the response that God has when God hears God's children cry out to him, much like a mother responds to the cries of her infant. Nehemiah recounts for the people all the time of the judges, a brutal and violent time in Israel's history. Everyone did just what they wanted, but this is Nehemiah's prayer to God. Ready? Therefore, you delivered them into the hand of their oppressors who oppressed them, but when they cried to you in the time of their distress, you heard from heaven. And according to your great compassion, you gave them deliverers who delivered them from the hand of their oppressors. But as soon as they had rest, they did evil again before you. Therefore, you abandoned them to the hand of their own enemies. When they cried again to you, you heard from heaven, and many times you rescued them according to your compassion. And that suggests here a parental compassion who listens to the cries of the parents' children. And here's Nehemiah. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in loving kindness. Just as the Father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. This is Psalm 103:13. Here's 2 Corinthians 6:18. And I will be a father to you. You shall be sons and daughters to me. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. I love. Here's Hosea 11, 3-4, where God is described as a mother. Yet it was I who taught Ephraim to walk. I took them up in my arms, but they did not know that I healed them. I led them with cords of human kindness, with bands of love. I was to them like those who lift infants to their cheeks. I bent down to them and fed them. Here's Hosea 13:8, where God is described as a mother bear. Like a bear robbed of her cubs, I will attack them and tear them asunder. Here's Deuteronomy 32:11-12. God's described as a mother eagle. Like the eagle that stirs up its nest, hovers over its young, God spreads wings to catch you and carries you on pinions. Deuteronomy 32:18, the God who gives birth. You were unmindful of the rock that bore you. You forgot the God who gave you birth. Isaiah 66:13, God is a comforting mother. As a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem. Here's Isaiah 49:15. Can a woman forget her nursing child or show no compassion for the child of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget you. Isn't that great? Isaiah 49:15. God compared to a nursing mother. I will not. You may forget me. I will not forget you. I could go on and on here. I think you get the picture. My favorite, though, may be Matthew 23:37 and Luke 13:34. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often have I desired to gather your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you were not willing. The first image we have of what happens after God creates Adam, first thing God does with Adam is place Adam in this garden. But the image, the biblical image here in Genesis 2, is God God takes Adam in God's arms and lifts him up and carefully lays him in this bassinet called a garden. A place that's safe and secure from all alarm. So when we talk about bringing God pleasure, we got to reframe our thoughts here away from just don't be a pain and a life free of pain. No life is free of pain. There's an old phrase, no pain, no gain. There's pain in any growth. When you grow, you get growth spurts and growing pains, and you all know what I'm talking about. So pain is a part of life. But maybe we ought to be thinking about things like trust, care, a God who cares for us, and we cast our cares. If you're preaching this, I would, if you've got a mother in the congregation that has a child, an infant in her arms, I would just maybe say, would you mind standing up? Would you mind standing up right now? Just stand up, okay? And as this baby is carried in its mother's arms and stands up, notice as you stood up, the baby didn't scream and yell and say, "What are you doing? Where am I going? What are you doing to me? How come you're changing my position? Don't drop me. Whatever you do, don't drop me." The baby nestled in the mother's arms feels, as we sing, feels safe and secure from all alarm. And that's what brings God pleasure. Do we feel that safe and secure in God's arms? That wherever God, and if you take the child out of the church, where am I going? Where you got to tell me where I'm going first, or get in a car. Oh, be careful how you step in this car. You could bang my head on something. Don't fret. As a child trusts its mother and father with its very life. knowing that it's going to go places it's not going to know about. Hasn't chosen to go there, has no idea what's going to happen there, and it could be good or bad. But what brings God pleasure is our trust, our casting our cares on God. You're the one who created me. You're the one who loves me. I'm your child. So what ultimate harm can come to me? I trust you, God, with my whole being, with my whole life, whatever may come. So what brings God pleasure? You bring me a great pleasure is our trust and our obedience. Do you remember when Jesus is on the cross and he's getting mocked by everybody, including the two other thieves? But the high priests and the scribes and elders said, he trusts in God, let God rescue him now. That's just a powerful, they sensed that Jesus trusts in God, even with his life, even when he's being crucified. He trusts in God. Do you trust in God? Even when people are saying nasty things about you, even when things are not going your way, even when, and nobody gets out of life alive, even when we are in the final throes of life itself, as we're being birthed into a whole new world. Do you trust in God? Like those scribes and high priests said of Jesus, he trusts in God. Even knowing that the trust in God will end in results that the world will not comprehend or understand or even sometimes laugh at. What brings God the greatest pleasure is that we say, I trust you, Lord. I trust you, Lord. We cast our cares on him, for he cares for us. Are you casting your cares on him? Because we know, you know, that God cares for you. We sign off to one another. Hey, take care. It's good to see you. Take care. Maybe if it's a Christian sign off, we ought to, maybe instead of take care, it ought to be cast your cares. Cast your cares. Cast your cares. Cast your cares on God, for he cares for you. An old song that I sang growing up as part of the Sweet family singing group. We were awful. We had to retire when we got a little older because we were cute. You get away with a lot when you're cute. But when you get older, you got to actually produce. Be not dismayed, whate'er betide. God will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love abide. God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day or all the way. He will take care of you. God will take care of you. Or here is the Fountain View Academy. Singing, it's about 4 hours straight north of here in British Columbia. Seventh-day Adventist school, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Listen to these kids sing their song.
dismayed, whate'er betide, God will take care of you. Beneath His wings of love abide, God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day or all the way. He will take care of you. God will take care of you.
God will take care of you. Cast your cares on Him. That's what brings God the greatest pleasure.